Well, that wasn't great. Yeah, so the quarterfinals happened, and yeah, what I didn't want to happen happened. Not really happy with what happened, but we move. You know, it's football; those things happen. We've got the semi-finals to predict, but first, let's look back on what I thought would happen in the quarterfinals. As much as it hurts. So we'll start off with Croatia versus Brazil. I predicted Brazil would win this match. It was actually Croatia. They fucking did it. Croatia managed to overcome what I would have considered the strongest side in the tournament after they took it to penalties. Both goals scored were in extra time, tying up the match just before penalties. And yeah, Brazil really fumbled their penalties. It was very shocking, but you know what? Fair play to Croatia. They thoroughly deserved it. Then we move on to the Netherlands versus Argentina. Now, I predicted Argentina would win this match, and they did. Wout Weghorst played the football of his life to try and keep the Oranges World Cup dreams alive, taking to penalties with two brilliant strikes. Unfortunately for the Dutch, they missed their first two penalties, and that was pretty much that. It was sealed from that then on. Argentina did miss a penalty, but managed to net more than the Netherlands. So it ended with Argentina going through and the Netherlands unfortunately crashing out. But Wout Weghorst, what a player when he needs to be, eh? And then we move on to Morocco versus Portugal. And the one time I predict Portugal to win a match and they don't. Typical. But I must say a big well played to Morocco. They held on to a 1-goal lead from the 42nd minute, and despite Portugal having 73% possession in the end, they could not find the back of the net. Gonçalo Ramos, who had an amazing game against the Swiss, didn't really have any impact in this match either. He went from scoring 3 to scoring none. I think he only had 1 shot on target throughout this whole match, if I'm not mistaken. All props must go to Morocco. They fought like hell, and they deserve their spot in the semi-finals. And finally, the one that pains me the most, England versus France. So yeah, I predicted England would win that match, but unfortunately, it was the French. Now, it's always hard to beat a team with 12 players, but despite the result, I would honestly say that England were the better team. For large chunks of the game, we outplayed France. We kept Mbappe quiet, but it was a brilliant strike to open the scoring from France, and then Giroud was just unmarked and managed to score what would be the winner. Very unfortunate. I think that was some of the best football we've played. You know, everyone moans at Southgate for being too defensive or too cautious, but we played some brilliant attacking football in that match, and we should have gone through, to be honest. But that's world football. It is what it is. We can't change the result now. But yeah, we were just really unfortunate to not get a result from it. I think letting Kane take a second penalty was not the right choice. I know he's our penalty taker. I know he's our goal scorer, but I don't think he should have taken that second penalty, because he never does a second penalty well. But you know what? It is what it is. Rashford almost tied it up. Oh, man, the scenes if that went in. Oh my god. But we're all Moroccan now, aren't we? Alright, now moving on to the big clashes, the semi-final title fights. We've got Argentina versus Croatia first. And it's going to be a tough one to call, this one. I'd say that Croatia have a very solid defensive lineup, with Levakovic being a very solid keeper as well. And that centre-back partnership of Lovren and Gvardiol in front of him have led to Croatia only conceding 3 goals from open play. We won't talk about penalties because you can't really do much about a penalty when you're a defender, can you? From open play, they've been very good. Croatia's midfield is probably the core of that side though, with Brozovic, Kovacic, and the main man himself, Luka Modric. Now Modric, he's an old man. I don't think anyone would disagree that he's old for a footballer, but he's looked fantastic throughout this tournament, outshining many younger players in his position. He could probably play forever if he wanted to. He's a very good player. Croatia are blessed with another brilliant player in Ivan Perisic. He is also a very good player who has also outshone many in this tournament. Yeah, he's probably one of the best players at this tournament, right? Still in the tournament, if I'm honest. Like, he's probably not talked about enough, in my opinion. Don't really see much Perisic praise on social media, but he's a very good player, and the Croatians are very lucky to have a player like him in their side. I mean, Argentina don't really have any natural wingers in their side, so most of their play tries to go through the centre. And I think that's where Croatia could cause quite the issues for Argentina. But Argentina do have Messi, the magical man himself, who can probably score a goal out of nowhere if he wanted to. Messi isn't the only Argentinian player though, although it may feel like that. They've got another brilliant player in Julian Alvarez, who's been playing really well for them as well. But they have some very good players within that side. And I think they're the ones who are going to beat Croatia, to be honest. Like, I'm going to have to back Argentina in this one. It'll be a close match and could very easily go to penalties. While I think Argentina would prefer it if it didn't go to penalties, I do think they could beat Croatia if it came to a penalty shootout. Yeah, I just see Argentina winning this clash. I think they'll go all the way to the finals. Like, this is Messi's last World Cup, probably. He's going to want to do it well. He's going to want to do well. I think the whole of Argentina will want him to do well. I mean, the Argentinian FA sent their own ultras out to Qatar, so they definitely want something from this tournament. And I think they'll beat Croatia in this clash. Croatia are a very good side, don't get me wrong. But I think the Argentinian side are just that much better. So I'm going to have to back Argentina in this one. And then move on to a match I will probably watch. This might be the only match of this bracket that I watch, but it will be France versus Morocco. We're all Moroccan, aren't we? Morocco have been a dark horse throughout this tournament. When you look at their squad, you think, why? Why are they the dark horse? They have a good squad. But that's just how it goes, really. They have a very formidable defence and a midfield that will not stop running. Did you see them playing against Portugal? They were insane. They just kept fighting, and they deserved the win they got. Bono has been a great keeper for Morocco as well, keeping out Portugal in his most recent outing and saving 2 Spanish penalties before that. Unfortunately for the Moroccans, they've been hit with some injuries. In those recent matches, their players have been getting battered because of how hard they fought. They've just been getting clattered by everyone, with 2 players coming off against Portugal. Now, we don't know whether these injuries are going to stop them from playing. They might just be doubtful for the game, but that remains to be seen. Hopefully for the Moroccans though, and I hope the Moroccans can get some of these players back before the clash against France, because they're really going to need them against this French side. I'd say France definitely have the strongest side in the tournament now that Brazil have been knocked out, and England of course. That would not stop the Moroccans. They've come up against squads which are much better than theirs and come out on top. We know these boys have an upset. Most of the focus though will once again be on Mbappe, who despite not scoring against England laughed when Harry Kane missed a penalty, and now his image is everywhere. Brilliant. Mbappe's taken the spotlight away from France's top goal scorer, Olivier Giroud, who has played some brilliant football in this tournament, probably better than Mbappe if you're going to ask me. I think he's often overlooked for Mbappe, not by the French manager of course, he still plays, but by the media as a whole. They prefer to focus on Mbappe than Giroud. I guess it's because we know Giroud can do it, but we also know Mbappe can do it, so like, who knows what's going on there. I wouldn't call him underrated though, but compared to Mbappe, he is often overlooked. There is so much quality in this French side, despite missing some of their big players who won the tournament in 2018, and they're still playing some great football. While Rabiot and Tchouaméni aren't exactly Pogba and Kanté in the midfield, they're still doing an amazing job in this tournament. I mean, Tchouaméni got that brilliant shot off against England, and I'm not even mad. Like, yeah, there was a foul on Saka, but what a goal. Despite all the plaudits though that I've given France, I'm going to have to back Morocco on this. It's just a matter of principle, really. I would love nothing more than to watch Morocco knock out France. That would be phenomenal. Send the Le Blues packing back to Paris. And you know what? They could actually do it. They are the upset masters of this tournament, taking down Spain, taking down Portugal, and now looking to add the French scalp to their collection. I think they could do it. Up the Atlas Lions. So yeah, those have been my predictions for the semi-finals of the World Cup. It's been a brilliant tournament. The matches have been brilliant. The tournament itself, not the greatest, but you know, that's what happens when you build it on the deaths of migrant workers, eh? But other than that, we've seen some brilliant football this tournament. I mean, England are out now, so I'm probably not going to be watching that much World Cup football as it is. I'll probably just watch the final and France v Morocco. It's a shame that we couldn't bring it home, but hey, we're bringing home Dave. So who's the real winner here? Anyway, I've been O2GT. These have been my semi-final predictions. Hope you have a great day, unless you're French. Peace.